Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. So I have another tutorial video for you here 1 year later. Somebody asked me for a tutorial on how to draw hands, so I'm going to show you tricks and tips that I use to practice drawing hands that have helped me get a lot better and a lot more comfortable at drawing hands, and hopefully some of my tips can help you out as well. So I'm going to start out by looking for a reference image of a hand to draw. Reference images are your best friend, especially when you're practicing and just trying to learn like the anatomy, etc., etc. Gonna do is you're gonna kind of sketch out the shape of the palm of the hand. So I usually try to draw like this. It's kind of like a square, but not really a square shape that represents the base area of the hand. And then I'm gonna add the side piece of like, okay, this is where the thumb is gonna go. So that gives you like the base shape of the middle part of your hand, the palm, and where your thumb comes out. Then just go ahead and add in the rest of the wrist and arm. And now, so what I'm doing now is I'm pointing where the knuckles are and where the bones in the hand go and lead up to each joint. This is really helpful for like mapping out where your fingers are gonna go. Next, like what I like to do is I like to break up the fingers into rectangular pieces because each finger is kind of separated into 3 little boxes. So I will draw out like, okay, this is the first third of the finger, and then the second third, and then I'll go in and add the fingertips. But if you bend your finger, you'll see that it breaks up into 3 rectangular sections. So you draw out those rectangular sections, and you might have to play around a little bit with the proportion and size of them because each finger is going to be a different length. But this is to just map out, the shape and the length of your fingers. The thumb is a little bit different, but the same thing. If you bend your thumb, you can see where the joints are and where they break up into different sections, and you can draw based on that. And then just go in and add the little webbed section in between your fingers, and there you have it. This is your under sketch for your hand, and you're going to use this now to complete your hand drawing. So I'm working on Photoshop, so I just lighten the layer and I create a new layer where I'm going to go in and draw on top. If you're doing this by hand, I would say when you do your base sketch, do it very lightly in pencil so that you can go back and erase the under sketch. I had to go back and add the nails, but as you can see now, like it's so much easier to go in and cleanly draw out the hand. It's easy for me to draw the shape of the fingers because I have that under sketch that already mapped out the proportions for me. Now it's just about getting the shape of the hand right and the shape of the fingers correct. And then I'm just gonna go in and add some little minor details, the lines where your knuckles are. There's a lot of skin, there's usually lines there, and just going to make some minor tweaks and adjustments to the drawing. But we're done, we're done with this hand. So let's look for another reference image. Let's try and draw a hand from a different angle now. So again, I always start with drawing the base of the hand, the palm. You can always revise, edit as you go, but it's the perfect starting point because it's also the easiest part to draw. And from there, again, I'm going to go in and draw where the thumb is going to come out. This one, I can't lie, I had a little bit of difficulty with, and hands are difficult, but if you look at it from the perspective of breaking the hand up into different shapes, it makes it a little bit easier. So I want you to pay attention here. Here I'm doing the same thing that I did the last time, and I'm breaking up the fingers into the 3 rectangular sections, just like last time, to map out again the proportions and also the shape that I want the fingers to take, the length that I want the fingers to be. But pay attention, because I'm doing it and I'm struggling. Like, it is hard. It's hard, and I ended up not liking how it was coming out, and I had to erase everything and start over, and that's okay. That's the whole point of like this under sketch, is to get the proportions correct before you go in and outline everything. But man, this one was hard. Hands are really hard to draw. They are very hard to draw. Okay, so just like last time, I just lightened the sketch layer. And now I'm going to go in and outline with like the detailed drawing. And it's so much easier. Like, once I had that under skeleton, it was so easy for me to go in and draw the hand. Okay, so let's find another reference image of a hand. Let's try a different angle this time. Just like the last 2 times, I'm gonna start out by drawing the base of the hand. This was a little bit interesting because it's from a side angle, but I'm still gonna be going to draw the palm base of the hand, and then also where the thumb comes out. And again, going in and breaking up those fingers into rectangular shapes so that you can get the like under skeleton of the hand drawing. You can get the proportions correct. Sketch is done, so now we can go in and create that very nice outline of the hand. Okay, now last one. So for this one, I thought, let's try and do a drawing of the palm up from, again, a different angle. Starting again by drawing out the square shape or whatever shape that is of the palm, and adding in that corner piece where our thumb is gonna go, and then going in again with your rectangular pieces to outline the shape of the finger. This one is hard because the angle that the fingers are turning towards us, the shape is not going to stay as rectangular pieces. So maybe try looking at them more as like little cylindrical shapes. They're 3-dimensional, but just break them up into shapes. And it always looks kind of funny in this like skeleton format, but then once you go in and you outline and you start going in and drawing the hand and going in with the simple details, then you really start to see like, oh wow, like this looks like a hand, like this looks like a real hand, like I did that. I'm not sure why at this point. Something in my head told me not to follow the underskeleton. I followed it a little bit, but as you can see, I drew outside of what I sketched. And then I ended up having to go back later and change it. But that's okay. Like, as an artist, when you're drawing, like, that's what erasers are for. You know, try something, it doesn't work, erase it, try something else. So there you have it. I showed you 4 different ways of drawing hands. Well, I showed you really one way. I just showed you 4 times, but I showed you 4 different angles. And the main thing here is I'm just showing you how to take a reference image and then how to break it down for yourself to make it easier, because it's really about understanding the anatomy of a hand, like understanding where the joints are and how the fingers break up and the different sections of the hand, and then you got it. If you found this video helpful, then please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more how-to or tutorial videos from me, drop a comment and let me know what you're looking for, but also make sure that you subscribe, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.